thing while I'm watching Big City Green. It's 10:39 right now. When I was in North Dakota, I had sealed up the mythology filter from another person. You know, the mythology filter, something is like a cesarean. You know how some people get hurt in time and then they come out a certain type of way. They come out a certain type of way because the impact of the accident that happened that caused my wife's blood to spill out while she was habiting one of my children's physics a certain type of way trying to protect my child from a certain martial art blow or certain traumatic experience. So the mythology filter filters out the individual and also certain things that clean the system of my empress a certain type of way when it comes to habitation of a humane condition of her body. And some of the children come out a certain type of way in the mythology filter at a certain time, and then a person has to know the difference of what's going on, because when if a person's misplaced during that time, it could cause a person to be outside of themselves if they were trying to recover from a blow. Or it's just like with me, I had acid reflux, so it feels like I'm throwing up blood sometimes. It's just like a person that hit a person a certain type of way, and then the physics at the time reacts to inside a certain person's body that causes a certain type of physical condition that a person got to recover from, because when a person has acid reflux. And then it's just like with the Mings. At the same time, throwing up blood, if certain things happen and I have acid reflux, they can't travel to certain places because you don't want them to get harmed and feel like they're losing their life. And then they have that mentality of that they don't care about certain things and they just want, you got to be careful about that situation. And I had called some of the main empresses of the outer regard of my wife a certain type of way, and then they had went off. It was them. I called them. I called Bethany and them. I called Donta, Fueda, Lovely, Triple Crown China. I had called Clinton. I had called Ming Tun. I had called a couple people a certain type of way, even when I was in Kenmare, and even to now. So you got to be very careful with certain individuals. And then they didn't want me to remember. Even Renee had I had called her. I had called Renee also. So you got to be very careful. Those are celestial empresses that I didn't have children with, though. Though they look like the empress themselves, like the empress of the physical body, but I never really had children with them. I was the ones I called because I was a lonely, I'm a lonely man, and I was trying to be with my wife at the time, but then I had realized that they did wrong and, had an affair. So there's no making up to something like a certain type of way when a person's carrying a high level of honor in physics, and then on top of it then starts disrespecting family and causes the wrong impulses in time, that it causes wrong conduct, and individuals are following their metaphysics. And then some people be using their third eye to their metaphysics or their mythology, and I don't want a person being taken advantage of and causes the end of the world. And then these empresses were skilled in martial arts and other forms of magic and craft, and then they might try to manipulate the way they look, and then they might have went to go to the 10 jewels. So you got to watch the door that you open up for people, because they'll take advantage if they didn't honor their oath of honor. Remember, it's just like the covenant. They'll get sick, they'll get old, bad things will happen, and then they'll die. And then they'll no wonder they'll try to live a good life and be like, oh, this is causing this, and they're just coming up with a lot of excuses, and they broke their oath of honor to them being an empress a certain type of way. And then next thing you know, then trying to complicate other people's lives, lying to other people, manipulating other forms of reality, and causing the empress to be suicidal. Even my Korean empresses, my Japanese empresses, and other Asian empresses that was in existence in the paradigm of time. So you got to be very careful with them chicks. They're very manipulative, and then they'll do other type of funny things because they're just trying to live for the moment and vicariously. So don't get caught up in their type of situation. So I got to warn you about their mentality when certain things happen a certain type of way.
Unbelievable sound. It's the cool new Altis amplifier. An Alexa built-in speaker powered by TeN, a smart speaker that sounds incroyable. Listen to him scratch.
You will scratch these.
Alexa, turn on my Altis 1.
Oh yeah, sports!
Bring every room to life with the high fidelity sound of Altis Amplify.
And then that was a time, even when I had the fire I'm just gonna be real. You gotta be very careful with other individuals. Look, and then some of them went and had children, and then you gotta remember certain things I'm going to explain to you about. An iPhone had punctured my foot during the time I sealed up the mythology filter, and you might have had my blood leak out from my foot and then cause a certain other people to come out in a physical reality a certain type of way in the mythology filter, and then people are wondering why certain empresses were walking the earth and it looked like certain empresses because it was walking the earth. They'll be from under 6 feet, and then another person probably fall in love and trying to live their life and thinking, and then all they're doing is fucking up their physics of their physical reality, and then causing hardship and heartache throughout time and causing demoralization or causing a divorce because I'm supposed to be with my wife, so I'm supposed to be living plush when having the things I'm supposed to have. So my wife, I could allure my wife to her aura and to my energy and be allured so we could be madly in love with each other, so it don't cause disorderly conduct and natural order of one's orientation or order even of the physical reality. And then you have an individual that's just living vicarious, that just wants to live like a high honor, and then next thing you know, just fucking up the reason, and then is like putting their parent in the old folks home and not caring about their parent. They want to see the end of the world and just let they want to see their parent. That would never happen. That would never happen, but want to see their parent die, and then next thing you know, and then wanted to see their parent die for they could just live and say they're the ones of the family and lying to people in physics on other solar systems and planets and other universes or galaxies, and then manipulating forms of physics. So you got to be very careful. You see. You see his eyes, the way he was looking, like he was looking guilty. All three of them was looking guilty. They had a look that they were looking guilty or something that they did. So you got to be very careful of these things. And this is why I'm warning you in the paradigm. And then on top of it, you got to be careful of certain people's physics. And like I said, I had sealed up the mythology filter, but one day I was standing on Flatbush and I was having a conversation about something, and I reopened the mythology filter to certain individuals. The Triple Crown Empresses can't use their mythology filter at a time with certain other people. So, and Rags Edge Blade and Shield. So, and then on top of it, Rags, Shaylee, and Liv is really here now. So I had called them because it felt like they were giving me heartache. So I called Shaylee and Liv. So the 10 Jewel Empresses got to be very careful with the children, and other people from other star charts or other social economics got to be very careful. Social also meaning solar system. So I'm just going to be real with you. So be careful of the things that you do, and be careful because I can't be with Shaylee and Liv. You know what I'm saying? Because of what they did to Rags, Edge, Blade, and Shield. I'm still their father, but they had did wrong in the metaphysical realm, and then what type of conduct would they be following up with in the paradigm in the physical realm? So you got to be really thinking about things like that before it causes the end of the world for some individuals, because some people will be heartless to the things that they do, and then they might try to manipulate the way they look because they were high educated in elements. So, be very careful. They might be using a Cambodian man. It's like those are the type of people that'll do funny physics. So be very careful with those type of mentality of feminine beings and their intent. So their impulses are different. And Shaylee and Liv were astrological empresses. So you have celestial, telestial, astrological. Those were high empresses. So you got to be very careful with those chicks. And remember, they never finished their education. And this is why the potential empresses had put them away, because the things that they did in their finished education, and they almost killed the love empress. They almost caused the murder and killing of the love empress of this love star chart. So I'm just going to be real, because of their greed. It's just like Aphrodite's homegirls, the story about Aphrodite, when her homegirls came to her house, used to sit on a couch and be slothful, and then cause the end of their reality where they just wanted to end love and stuff because they were trying to kill Aphrodite and get her power and what the reason why she was the love empress and stuff, and they were trying to manipulate her to have affairs to live vicariously in life to cause the death of Aphrodite, the death of love, of true love and stuff. So another person you gotta be careful of the manipulations of a person, what they make a person do to themselves, and then causes their heartache in the paradigm of time. So be careful of these things. Like I said, it's after Thanksgiving, after Black Friday. It's not Saturday, it's Sunday now, and the time is 10:49 a.m. in the morning. So love one. And I just came from outside.